Hi, welcome to our channel Programming of Mind, where we accelerate your knowledge with concise, from high-value book summaries. Let's begin. The power of relationships, connecting to others for true fulfillment. Human beings are inherently social creatures, and one of the most important aspects of happiness is our relationships with others. Whether it's family, friends, romantic partners, or even colleagues, our connections with others have a profound impact on our emotional well-being. In this section, we explore the role of relationships in fostering happiness, the importance of emotional intimacy, and how our ability to give and receive love directly contributes to our fulfillment. True happiness is often found not in isolation, but in connection with others and with the world around us. The need for connection. At the core of our existence is the desire for connection. We thrive in environments where we feel understood, valued, and loved. Relationships provide us with a sense of belonging and offer a source of support during difficult times. Research shows that people with strong social connections are happier, healthier, and live longer lives. It's not the amount of money or success we accumulate that determines our happiness. It's the quality of our relationships. Consider the story of Peter, a man who spent much of his life focused on career advancement. He worked tirelessly, often at the expense of his personal relationships. Over time, his work became all-consuming, and he found himself isolated from his friends and family. Despite his professional success, Peter felt lonely and disconnected. He realized that his pursuit of success had cost him the very thing that brought true fulfillment: meaningful relationships. Peter's turning point came when he reached out to his old college friends and made an effort to reconnect with his family. As he began nurturing these relationships, he found that his sense of loneliness began to dissipate. His life was enriched by the connections he forged, and he found that happiness, in its truest form, came from the love and support of those around him. Peter's story underscores the idea that relationships are at the heart of happiness. It is through connection that we find meaning, love, and fulfillment. The role of empathy in building strong relationships. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another person. It is the foundation of emotional intimacy and plays a critical role in the quality of our relationships. When we are empathetic, we can deeply connect with others, offering support and understanding during both joyful and challenging times. Empathy allows us to see the world from another person's perspective, fostering compassion and creating bonds of trust and mutual respect. Take the example of Lisa and her husband, James. Early in their relationship, Lisa struggled to understand James's emotional needs. He would often withdraw when stressed, and Lisa found herself frustrated by his lack of communication. However, after reading about the importance of empathy, Lisa began to focus on listening more attentively and understanding his feelings. Instead of reacting with frustration, she took the time to ask questions and show her support. Over time, this shift in communication allowed them to deepen their emotional connection and strengthen their marriage. Lisa's story illustrates how empathy transforms relationships. By cultivating empathy, we can build stronger, more fulfilling connections with others. Empathy enables us to navigate conflicts with greater understanding and creates an environment where both partners feel heard, respected, and supported. The importance of vulnerability in deepening connection. Vulnerability is often seen as a weakness, but in reality, it is a powerful tool for building deep, meaningful connections. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we open ourselves to emotional intimacy. Vulnerability requires courage, as it involves exposing our true selves, our fears, insecurities, and desires to others. However, it is through vulnerability that we foster trust, deepen relationships, and create the emotional bonds that are essential for happiness. Consider the example of Sarah, a woman who had always been guarded in her relationships. She was afraid to open up to others, believing that showing weakness would lead to rejection. As a result, her relationships remained surface level, and she felt disconnected from those around her. One day, Sarah decided to take a risk. She confided in a close friend about her struggles with self-doubt and her fear of failure. To her surprise, her friend responded with understanding and support, rather than judgment. This experience was a turning point for Sarah. She realized that vulnerability was not a sign of weakness, but a pathway to deeper connection. By allowing herself to be open and honest, Sarah was able to build stronger, more authentic relationships. She learned that true happiness comes from embracing vulnerability and sharing our true selves with others. Giving and receiving love. The act of giving and receiving love is at the heart of human connection. Love, in all its forms, romantic, familial, and platonic, is essential to our well-being. Love is not something we can possess. It is something we give, receive, and nurture. It is a dynamic force that flows between people, creating bonds of mutual care and support. However, love is not always easy. It requires effort, understanding, and sacrifice. Take the story of Emily and her father, Robert. Robert had always been a loving and supportive father, but Emily had struggled with feelings of resentment toward him. She had felt neglected during her childhood, as Robert's career had kept him away from home frequently. Over the years, Emily held on to these feelings, even as she grew older and became more independent. One day, Emily decided to confront her father about her feelings. She expressed her hurt, her longing for more attention, and her desire for a closer relationship. To Emily's surprise, Robert listened with empathy and regret. He admitted that he had failed to be present during her childhood, but he also expressed his deep love for her. This conversation allowed Emily to release years of emotional baggage and rebuild her relationship with her father. She learned that love requires communication and vulnerability. By expressing her feelings and allowing Robert to do the same, Emily was able to cultivate a deeper, more fulfilling connection with him. Emily's experience highlights the importance of both giving and receiving love. When we are open to receiving love, we allow ourselves to experience the fullness of human connection. And when we give love, we create bonds that enrich our lives and bring joy and fulfillment. The role of forgiveness in healing relationships. Forgiveness is a crucial aspect of healthy relationships. Holding on to anger, resentment, or grudges can poison our connections with others and prevent us from experiencing true happiness. Forgiveness is not about excusing or forgetting the wrongs done to us, but about releasing the emotional hold that those wrongs have over us. By forgiving others, we free ourselves from the burden of negative emotions and create space for healing and reconciliation. Consider the story of Michael and his brother, Adam. The two had been estranged for several years after a falling out over a family dispute. Both brothers carried feelings of resentment and anger, and neither was willing to make the first move toward reconciliation. However, as time passed, Michael realized that the anger he held toward Adam was only hurting him. He made the decision to forgive his brother, even though Adam had never apologized. Michael reached out to Adam, expressing his desire to heal their relationship and move forward. Adam was hesitant at first, but he eventually accepted Michael's offer. The two brothers were able to reconnect and rebuild their bond. Michael's decision to forgive allowed both of them to let go of the past and focus on the future. Their relationship became stronger than ever, and both men experienced a sense of peace and fulfillment that had eluded them for years. Michael's story illustrates the power of forgiveness. When we choose to forgive, we release the emotional weight that holds us back from experiencing happiness and healing. Forgiveness is not just about others. It is also about freeing ourselves from negative emotions and creating space for love, understanding, and connection. The impact of social support on happiness. Our relationships with others provide us with more than just emotional connection. They also offer us social support. Social support is the network of people who provide us with encouragement, advice, and practical help during times of need. Having a strong support system can significantly improve our mental and emotional health, and it plays a crucial role in our overall happiness. Think about the experience of Kelly, a woman who faced a difficult health crisis. During her illness, Kelly's friends and family rallied around her, offering their help, comfort, and love. Their support made an immeasurable difference in her recovery. Kelly realized that the love and encouragement she received from her loved ones were just as important as medical treatment. It was the social support that helped her stay positive, focused, and resilient during a challenging time. Kelly's experience demonstrates the importance of social support in our lives. The people we surround ourselves with have a profound impact on our ability to cope with life's difficulties. They provide us with the emotional and practical resources we need to navigate challenges and find happiness. Conclusion: relationships as the key to lasting fulfillment. Our relationships with others are the cornerstone of happiness. Through connection, empathy, vulnerability, love, and forgiveness, we create bonds that bring fulfillment, meaning, and joy into our lives. Relationships offer us the support and understanding we need to navigate life's challenges, and they provide the emotional nourishment that sustains us. As we cultivate these connections, we unlock a deeper, more lasting form of happiness, one that is rooted in love, compassion, and shared experiences. Thank you for listening, and please like the video and subscribe for more great upcoming content that will put you in top 1% people in the world.